Let's close our eyes and sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Connect with the silence deep in the mind. Identify with that silence. You are the silent witness. You don't need the physical body to observe and witness all that is going on the earth plane. You can use the senses of the silent witness. So today we're going to practice using our silent witness senses as we hear the words of the Yoga Vasishta. We can also see those words on the screen with the Pratibha Darshasa visual sense. As we listen to the Yoga Vasishta using our absolute senses of the silent witness, the words and the frequencies and the meanings and emotions of all that is read and discussed in the Yoga Vasishta will touch and enliven deep aspects of our karmic traces, particularly those knowledge constructs found in the Manomaya Kosha. Continuing with Book 4, Chapter 10, verse 25. The variety of the mind's desires makes it perceive and produce varieties of things like pots and pictures and the like. The same mind thinks itself as many by the diversity of its thoughts. Such as, I am weak, I am poor, I am ignorant, and the like. The thought that I am none of the fancied forms which I fend for myself, but of that form from where I am, causes the mind to be one with the everlasting Brahman. By divesting it of the thoughts of all other things. All things springing from Brahma sink at last in him. Like the huge waves of the wide and billowy ocean, rise only to subside in its calm and undisturbed waters below. They sink in the Supreme Spirit, resembling one vast body of pure, transparent, cold and sweet water. And like a vast mine of brilliant gems of unfailing brightness. One thinking himself to be a little wave diminishes his soul to littleness. But one believing himself to be a large wave enlarges his spirit to greatness. He who thinks of himself as a little being falling from above to suffer in the nether world is born upon earth in the form he took for his pattern. But he who thinks himself to be born to greatness soon rises by its energy and becomes as big as a hill and shines with the luster of rich gems growing upon it. Now, this is very common understanding and information about how what we think about, we become. In the 1960s, there arose a group of people teaching the power of positive thinking. Napoleon Hill, people like that. Utilizing exactly this concept. What you think, you become. And of course, the reason that works is due to the karmic traces. There are two approaches. One, just realize what I'm thinking about, and then notice that's manifesting in my life. When we do that, we're just allowing the karmic traces to manifest. The other approach is to try and correct something that we don't like in our life by using a phrase or a few sentences or words that mean the opposite of the thing we don't like. Maybe we need money, so we think about being wealthy. And we go to great extremes to imagine great wealth in complete physical form, gold bars or gems or something, sitting on our desk in front of us. Well, the second approach is balancing karmic traces directly. When we notice we're having a lack of wealth, we think about lots of wealth in our life. It can cause the wealth to come. But then the wealth goes away. That's because thinking about the wealth balanced the lack of wealth karmic traces on the physical level. Maybe on the subconscious level, a little bit, but it didn't touch the underlying knowledge constructs on the deeper level of the Manomaya Kosha. So like chopping off weeds at the surface of the ground, we get a little appearance of no weed. We get a little respite from lack of finances. But before long, if we stop those positive aphorisms, here comes the karma again. But all of this, of course, is just to appease the ego. If the ego is happy, feeling, oh, I'm making progress in life, I'm acquiring and accumulating many things that I think I need and want, I'm fulfilling my desires. Then when we ask the ego to be quiet a minute so we can meditate, we might get some cooperation. But the reality is, all this positive thinking, all this thinking, actually, it needs to go away. The whole inner dialogue stops when we achieve moksha. Verse 34. He rests in peace who thinks himself to be the cooling orb of the moon. Otherwise, the body is consumed with cares. Like a tree on the bank is burned down by fire. Others, like forest trees, are fixed and silent and shudder for fear of being burnt down by the wildfire of the world. Though they are situated at ease, such as beside the running stream of limpid water, and as high on a mountain top of inaccessible height. Those who think they're surrounded by worldly affairs are like wide, stretching trees awaiting their fall by impending blasts of wind. Those who wail aloud for being broken to pieces under the pressure of their misery are like the noisy waves of the sea, breaking against the shore and shedding their tears in the form of watery spray. But waves are not of one kind, nor are they altogether entities or nullities in nature. They are neither small nor large, nor high nor low, nor do these qualities abide in them. Waters do not abide in the sea, nor are they without the sea or the sea without them. They are the nature of desires in the soul, rising and setting at their own accord. The dead are undying and the living are not living. Thus is the law of mutual succession, which nothing can prevent or alter. So if we do nothing, our karmic traces just manifest. And there's nothing we can do to stop the manifestation of individual karmic traces. Even if we're meditating many hours a day, can't stop the individual karmic traces from running the life, producing whatever they produce in the life. And we may find that as we continue meditating, the life is changing. That we're getting more support for the fulfillment of our desires. But that's all coming because some karmic traces on the surface are being balanced. Bringing up ones that are on deeper levels that hadn't before begun to manifest in our life. At first, that's a very novel experience. And ego sees that as good progress, becoming more healthy, becoming more clear in the mind, able to make right decisions and doing things that are moving the life in a progressive way. But if we focus on all that, we're really missing everything. None of that makes any difference. None of that is really of value at all. We're just focusing on the illusion. Our attention must always be in the silent witness. And we use every opportunity to remind ourselves, to reconnect with the silent witness, to live in the current moment, to ignore the worries and doubts and fears and concerns that are coming up in the mind, because we know that all that is just from individual karmic traces. We begin to treat everything going on in our life like we are treating thoughts that come up in meditation. Now, as teachers of meditation, we don't encourage people to do that till they're at a more advanced stage. Because it can quickly turn into a low level of apathy. And then the ego says, yeah, well, why spend all this time sitting with your eyes closed meditating? That's also a big waste of time. Why not just feel the silence? But see, that's not going to give you any progress either. There are even some teachers that teach that. Sit down, meditate, close your eyes. And when you feel the great silence, an unbounded awareness within, you can stop the mantra and just be in that beautiful silence for as long as you like. Then if thoughts come up, you can start the mantra again. Completely stupid thinking. Whoever is teaching that doesn't understand anything about karma or enlightenment or the process of sadhana. I don't know where those ideas are coming from, if not just from their own ego. Wanting to express how intelligent and superior they are. But if you do that, you are literally just stopping all your progress. and you're giving up your progress for a few moments of feeling good. It's very much like achieving moksha, dropping the body, and finding yourself in the beautiful celestial realms. And then you know that you haven't achieved Brahman consciousness. You're still a human being. You have to transcend your humanness. You have to stop being a human being. Being a good human being is not the goal of life. It's not why we're here. Becoming non-human is why we're here. But like everything, there are two levels of non-humanness. The current crop of Satanists who want to destroy humanity are saying the same thing. We will merge with the machines. We will achieve the singularity. We don't need this body anymore. We'll upload our consciousness into computers. They're taking a totally wrong direction, which is going to just attach everything to an even more physical expression. That's not the point. Point is, we have to become the silent witness and then spend our time diving deeper and deeper and deeper into the silent witness, while karmic traces are being balanced. And the karma that brought this body into existence is being exhausted. But it's a little bit like living in a house that's on fire. The body is like a house on fire. It's burning down every day a little more. And meanwhile, we're sitting inside the house, trying to figure out how to transcend, balance all our karma, and achieve Brahman consciousness. So there is a little blend that we have to indulge in. We have to get the body into a state of perfect health, and we have to keep it going without attracting too much of our attention, so we can focus on our sadhana and balance karmic traces. We need to do that before the body drops, or then we'll find ourselves in that fantastic celestial realm, and a whole new challenge arises. We don't care about meditation anymore. We've arrived. We know we're not at the ultimate goal, but why not take a little bit of time and enjoy the beautiful celestial realm? Now let's start the process of Trimana Sanya with the esoteric Mahamantra and the transcending Dharana mantra, while observing all from the silent witness. And this will balance all the karmic traces that have been touched by today's reading. Jai Gurudev.